So I'll just answer it in three ways. One, what I have done at Uber, and what I do, and where the finance brings in. So number one, Uber is a very fast-paced company, which means your roles and responsibilities also keep changing. So it is any fast growth company role pretty much requires a strong learning mindset and a lot of resilience. Because what in my 4 years at Uber, my first 1.5 years were all about get stuff done ASAP, because we are growing like nobody's business. We have no time to do a lot of analysis. Just have hypothesis, go fast. Even if we fail, it's fine. We'll figure it out. Then we went through this cultural transformation, which made the kind of strategy and how we went about doing things very different, which means we really had to step back and adapt to a very different environment of moving from a startup to a corporate. And I'll be transparent here, it is a very hard shift, because either you adapt or you just don't. And this is where I want to give advice to a lot of young folks, especially because I've seen a lot of young folks join Uber who got very fortunate as their first jobs. And they felt like, and a lot of them who did not stay on or did not succeed was because they were too happy and too comfortable and too excited by the first phase they saw. They felt like this unlimited capital and growth is the most fun way to go in life. We just want to keep doing this and leave Uber and do it in other companies. It's great, but guys, you're building your career for 30 years. You need to know how to grow fast, but how to go slow, how to restructure. If you want to be CEOs and really senior executives, you need to build different types of experiences and kind of use different types of your brain and strategies and personality to lead with. And that's what I really want to highlight for the people who are here just listening in. So the second phase was about adapting to really becoming a matrix organization, corporate, having a lot of processes and systems. And thereafter, last year we've spent really doing a lot of work around how to prepare ourselves to be a public company. Like, what are we going to go talk about? I mean, we're losing money, we have rides, we want to build a platform. What does that even mean? How are we going to do things differently that make us that continue to have the growth trajectory, that show some path to profitability, but also partner with cities, really show our make an effort to work with the drivers. So that has actually led us to do a lot of work on how we actually build rides and eats business together. How do we build transit? How do we actually work on things like electric vehicles? So a lot of those themes actually came about as preparation to IPO. And now we are very, very focused. In fact, today I had a long day session around what are we going to do in 2020, which is all about efficiency, efficiency, and efficiency. I think we all know Uber is here to stay. It's grown really fast, but now it's time to become as efficient and really get profitable quickly. So again, going back, it's been a different role every year. That's what has kept me here so far. And I feel in terms of my day-to-day work, I split my work into three phases. The 30% of my work is continuing to lead the external discussions, which is working with the largest OEMs, working with the largest airports, the largest Amazons and Googles of the world, largest technology companies, where we already have an existing partnership, or we're going to grow and strike a new partnership. So that's 30% of my work. So external discussions. Another 30% of my work is pretty much, we can discuss great ideas externally, but that means nothing unless you have a plan to champion those ideas internally and actually drive the discussion, drive the decision, as well as setting up the teams for success. So 30% of my time is actually on the execution phase, as well as internally championing the ideas. And the rest 30% of my time is spent on team, which I think is extremely important, because as you grow, you just cannot do everything yourself. You need to set yourself a very strong team that you're spending time with, making sure they're inspired, motivated, and aligned. One of the challenges I've seen in the fast growth companies is once you get this leeway that you have a big company, so you can do a lot of things, but you also have to make sure you're working on the right set of priorities. And I call that brutal prioritization. The fun thing about Uber is you can do a lot. You can do a lot on the drivers, on the riders, on the cities, on being efficient, on growing fast. You can do so much, that unless you really focus and narrow down with the right framework on what is the most impactful thing you should be doing is very, very important. So I would say that's how I split my time across the three things.